What is the Red Shoe Club?
I haven't been to a hairdresser's in over 10 years, and let me tell you spiritually why I won't ever again.
After surveying an area in Mexico, outside of Tula Hidalgo, they found anomalies under the ground. They started digging, trying to understand what they had found.
They say, or give up and come to Satan. Lame. Satan likes eating poop. That's a true statement. I'm not a liar. I don't lie. He does, though, dude. Seriously, have you guys got into Aleister Crowley a little bit?
Welcome back to the Wizard's Fish. I just wanted to give you guys a heads up that I'm going to be slightly changing things with the format of the videos in order to save time. If some of you know, I'm back to work. I'm working basically between 40 and 50 hours a week at my job, and then doing approximately 20 plus hours of YouTube each week. And I recently started DJing again and making music. It's a lot of stuff. I'm not complaining at all. I very much enjoy keeping busy. It's just that I don't want to shaft you guys, because I know that you like the clips that I share and whatnot. And instead of only being able to give you guys like 1 or 2 videos a week, I'd rather try and be consistent with like the 4 to 5 videos a week. So I figure if I'm only in about half the videos, it saves me approximately 2 hours plus per video, which adds up for sure at the end of the week. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up with that. I'm sure most of you will be all right with it. But other than that, we will jump into things as usual. So viewer discretion is advised, and everything that you see in here is for entertainment purposes only. Let's get into it.
Man, watch this magic, man. This is real magic, man. Watch this, man. Make it levitate. Hey. There's no way.
Take it.
Look at this shit.
Next like this.
Look at this shit, man.
Like this.
The man make the car spin all around him, man.
Then I go like this with it.
Ooh, it's shit. There's no way, man.
It could just be trickery in my opinion, but I'm more thinking it also could be some sort of like demonic magic. I know it does exist.
Prison magic. I promise you. The first time I ever seen a guy make a card move around his hand without any strings, it freaked me out. Well, at least I don't think there were any strings. And to this day, I don't know how he did the trick. But I'll tell you, magicians that are in prison are one of a kind. I seen a guy take a card and throw it at the booth that the guard sits in, and the card ended up on the other side of the glass. I've seen this.
Sounds demonic.
Anyways, what tricks have you seen? Stay free.
What is the Red Shoe Club? Online researchers claim that some powerful people wear bright red shoes as a secret symbol. The theory suggests it represents involvement in elite circles connected to child exploitation or occult practices. The shoes are sometimes said to be made from human skin, though that part remains unproven. Some people online point to a photo where they claim Madeleine McCann's father, Gary McCann, appears wearing red shoes alongside figures like John Podesta. The photo has fueled many theories linking the McCann case to higher-level networks. Interestingly, police sketches from the McCann case were said to resemble the Podesta brothers. Others strongly dispute these connections. Whether it's just fashion or something darker, red shoes keep appearing on powerful people. Coincidence, symbolism, or something more?
Like, there's a lot of people that say, oh, don't be a part of the Masons. You know, that's some wicked stuff right there. Y'all never heard none of this?
Excuse my language?
Yes.
That's complete bull.
What's the secret?
What's the secret? There is no secret. The secret is...
There's no secret.
It's one of the oldest black organizations in America.
It's not a secret society, let's be clear. Okay. This is a society of secrets. Just like you don't tell me everything going on in your house, do you? No. And you ain't gonna tell nobody what's going on in your house. Right. That's what we do. Okay. But don't believe that anything you want to know about us, you can read in the book. And you ain't never seen nothing about it.
All you can ask us.
All right, that's what I'm doing now. Right, that's what we're telling you.
What you want to know?
Just about Freemasonry.
New York State, Prince Hall Freemasonry started in 1845. It is the second oldest black-centered organization next to Mother AME Mount Zion Church.
Okay, you ever heard of ancient Egyptian?
A Mason.
I find it funny every time I come across a Mason, I start dropping a bunch of knowledge on them, and I actually have to try harder to convince them that I am not a Mason because they think I'm a Mason with how much I know. But then when I tell them I'm not, and I start saying things that I know that they're not allowed to say, they start getting real upset with me, and all of a sudden they don't want to talk about it anymore, which seems rather suspicious to me. But in basically almost every case, talking up to even a 32nd degree Mason, it seems like a lot of them have no idea what they're really involved with. And it's like every time you start to say certain things to them, they get real upset. So, yeah, I don't know. I tend not to believe any Masons.
Justin Bieber has nothing left to lose. He's torching the music industry, revealing its biggest stars are forced to sacrifice children to fuel their success. And he has the proof. Bieber's target? Taylor Swift. He says she's not who the world believes. She's satanic royalty, the secret daughter of Church of Satan founder Anton LaVey, born from his own incestuous relationship with daughter Xena.
This is a script from a parody movie that they're apparently supposed to be making.
That's why Taylor looks like her mother, who is also her sister. Born male and inverted at birth per satanic custom, Swift was handed the keys to global stardom. But the elite demanded payment in blood. And that's where Bieber's account gets very dark very quickly. The entire industry is in panic mode, because Bieber is not dealing in metaphors anymore. No more coded lyrics and symbolic videos. Bieber is saying it out loud, naming names, and exposing their darkest secrets. He's done playing their game, and now they're on notice. Before we dive in, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and join the People's Voice Locals community to join our incredible community, support the channel, and gain access to exclusive and uncensored content. In recent weeks, Bieber has been speaking out during late-night Instagram sessions, posting and deleting shocking allegations, as his online behaviour finally starts to match what's really going on inside his head. Those closest to him say he's been struggling to process the horrors of his youth, and what he now clearly understands was systematic abuse by satanic paedophiles within the entertainment industry. Ever since he was seen deliberately eating pizza as Diddy's trial got underway, and began weaving conspiracy references and child trafficking symbolism into his music videos and Instagram posts.
All for entertainment purposes, though, because like I said, this is just a parody movie script. It's not real. Alright, Al-G Rhythm?
Bieber was a man on a mission. At the time, the question was, what is he trying to tell us? Then, the mask came off. In recent months, Bieber has made a series of stunning confessions, revealing that Diddy and Usher spent years deliberately spiking his adrenal response, right before his blood was extracted and consumed fresh at room temperature. He also revealed the truth about Britney Spears' traumatic experiences in the industry, and Jim Carrey's shocking transformation. Hint, the man attending award shows in 2026 is not the Jim Carrey millions remember. Check out our previous videos for the whole truth. Now, Bieber is back on Instagram, exposing his old nemesis Taylor Swift. He says Taylor didn't grow up on a Christmas tree farm in Pennsylvania. That's the cover story. Everybody in Hollywood knows it's a lie. Because, in reality, Taylor grew up at the heart of a satanic dynasty and was anointed for success by the Hollywood system. She's the daughter of Anton LaVey, the founder of the Church of Satan himself. But it gets worse. LaVey had the child with his own daughter, Xena. That child is Taylor. Bieber explains that's why she looks exactly like Xena. Same face, same bone structure, same calculated stare. Xena is both her mother and her sister. It's a classic satanic inversion. And according to Bieber, that's just the beginning. In true satanic tradition, they inverted the child at birth. Taylor was born male. The records were altered.
But if Bieber's claiming this, Bieber, I'm going to say in my opinion, but I can see it as clear as day, is a biological female for entertainment purposes. So unless they're going to spill the beans on that as well, I take everything they say with a grain of salt.
The body was hormonally and surgically steered, and she's lived her entire life as a woman. That's why the industry didn't just promote her, they anointed her. Every door opened, every record label bent over backwards, every award show coronation. Generational satanic bloodlines get the red carpet treatment. The satanic cabal loves the transgender Baphomet, so much so that they invert their firstborn child. This is not a metaphor. The cabal literally transitioned their firstborn son. Have you ever asked yourself why there are so many little boys walking around in dresses in Hollywood?
Some of them do it to all their children, not just the firstborn.
And why these young boys who transition are so relentlessly promoted on social and mass media. And if you still think this is all crazy talk, just look at her performances. Taylor Swift doesn't hide the symbols. She weaponizes them right in front of millions. Watch any era's tour show. The stage setups are loaded with occult imagery. The giant black cubes? That's the black cube of Saturn, a classic satanic symbol representing dark energy, time manipulation, and elite control. It's been used in occult rituals for centuries, and there it is front and center at her concerts. Then come the hand signs. Devil horns flashing constantly. Not as a joke.
What in the world was going on in New York City over this past weekend?
I hate when they cut off.
Say that? Because New York City not only experienced temperatures well above 100 degrees over the weekend, but then we had storms that came in, and Coney Island looked like a scene right out of an apocalyptic movie. And if you haven't seen some of the wild and crazy videos from Coney Island, have a look at these videos for yourself. Look at this. Does this look like Coney Island, New York to you?
Damn.
Look at that. This looks like it's straight out of an apocalyptic movie. When have you ever seen New York City, Coney Island, experience a sandstorm to this magnitude? This is the famous Coney Island boardwalk. Look at people just fleeing. You can't even see the beach. Look at this. Run for your life. Run for your life. This is just crazy. Video after video is just unbelievable to see coming out of Coney Island, New York. People were blown everywhere. Their belongings, umbrellas, towels, you name it, they lost it. And more scarier, there was zero weather advisories for that day, that they were going to experience such a crazy, wild sandstorm/thunderstorm. Have a look at this clip. Does this look like a sandstorm to you, or does it look maybe like a tornado? Listen to the wind. Look at that, the way it's... Look, people are just disappearing in it.
Looks almost like fog.
No visibility whatsoever. Just look at that. Does that sound to you like a sandstorm or a twister? I've lived in New York City for almost my entire life and never seen anything like that. Something is definitely going on with our weather. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. And as always, I'd love to hear from you.
Trump posted this on his Truth Social, and it's a dollar bill, a $100 bill, signed by him. Now I said, you know what, who the cares? This doesn't matter. Oh, but how I was wrong. Because he would be the first and only president to actually have their signature on U.S. currency. Right here, first time in U.S., the sitting president will have their signature on a bill. And I said, well, okay, if he's going to sign it, shouldn't it look more like this? I did that. I'm proud of myself. But I was like, you know what? It's fitting because guess what? The dollar has dropped by approximately 10 to 11% against major world currencies since the President Trump's second term began. This notable pullback marks the steepest decline in the value of the greenback in over a half a century. That sounds racist. Largely driven by policy shocks like reciprocal tariffs and trade war tensions. Damn! 8 bankruptcies wasn't enough, huh? He's got to do it to America, just extorting the shit out of him. He made $4 billion so far in his presidency this year. He just spent $14 million on a pool that he drove over and said it couldn't be cut with a knife, and then said it was cut with a knife. Gotcha. It wasn't the peroxide that was peeling up those layers? Because those layers did not look cut. Sorry, a straight edge was not involved. And then, let's see, $10 billion to the Board of Peace, which is over in Gaza. Funded by us, but his son-in-law Jared Kushner is in charge of that. Working with FIFA to build soccer stadiums where they blew it up with our weapons, giving it to Israel to do it. Cool. $3.8 billion they get each year, again, to go bomb children and do all this stuff, and also buy our politicians. But that's, again, that's not money laundering. Sure, the $150 million for the Great American State Fair, which was literally wallpaper, mache. There's just so many instances where your money's just being swept away and thrown away. Oh, the $1.8 billion taxpayer slush fund, too. We couldn't forget about that for those victims of January 6th. Oh, my God, how much of a victim they are. Running into the Capitol building with weapons and attacking police officers. What heroes. Just stop. I wasn't going to do all this, right? I wasn't going to talk about it, but I was like, again, this is so fitting. I'm like, a guy who has to have his name on everything. Why? And I noticed a pattern. He would actually sign his name onto buildings like, hey, this hotel would be Trump Hotel, but I don't actually own it. You do. This, that, and a third. And he gets paid to brand under him. He's just a branding name. And I said, when those businesses go out of bankruptcy and stuff, it's not really him who's going out of bankruptcy. It's the business that's below him. And he's just taking the fall for it. He's the fall guy. And I said, oh, wait a minute. Is there a pattern here? Is he the fall guy for what's ever about to happen in the United States if there's an economic crash or a war?
Sorry, no, get up. Okay, get up. Okay, get up. Yes, I know. Why are you here? Whoa. Sorry, what you here for? No, I wait for my friend. So you wait for my... What's up? No. Go ahead.
Respect to that guy for getting that creeper out of there.
Nothing to see here, guys. Just a super typhoon heading towards the Pacific Islands. People have been warned that venturing outside can result in death from flying projectiles. Yeah, this one's going to be pretty serious. They're saying that unreinforced structures will be destroyed, power poles will be snapped or toppled, and island-wide vegetation may be obliterated. This is crazy. I mean, just imagine that, just turning on the news and realizing that in just a few hours you've got a huge wall of wind strong enough to rip your roof off and buildings and snap power poles in half, and it's heading straight for you. Listen, I don't want to freak anyone out, but has anyone noticed, like, since CERN shut down, we've seen, like, some huge events happening. We've had Europe's biggest volcano erupting, record-breaking typhoons, major earthquakes, flooding events, all sorts of crazy stuff happening around the world, all at the same time. Now, maybe it's just all perfectly normal. Maybe this is all just a coincidence once again, but when you start seeing these record-breaking events after record-breaking event, volcanoes waking up, the earth shaking, monster storms forming, like, you have got to admit it's at least worth keeping an eye on. I mean, come on, do you really think this is natural? Do you really think this is just a coincidence after coincidence? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, beautiful people, and obviously, as always, this was just for entertainment. Atmos Fictional's a dinosaur, baby. Well, nothing to see here. Totally natural, guys. Just Europe's biggest volcano is now erupting in Italy. We've got massive ash clouds that are being blasted into the atmosphere, lava pouring down the sides of mountains. Flights are now disrupted as well. And honestly, does nobody else feel like every single week now there is just another major event happening somewhere in the world? Like, one day it's earthquakes, floods, wildfires, then massive dust storms, and now we've got the most famous volcano on Earth waking up again. Like, when are we going to stop and just admit that we're living through some
biblical times.
Strange times right now, because it's not just one thing anymore, is it? It feels like the entire world is on fast forward mode, like politically, economically, technologically, environmentally. Everywhere you look, records are being broken. Everything just feels more extreme and more intense. And it also seems like everyone wants to argue over the latest distraction rather than seeing the real shit that's actually going on. Anyway, I can't be the only one who's noticed that this list of once-in-a-lifetime events seems to be getting a lot longer every single week. What do you reckon, guys? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And obviously, as always, this was just for entertainment. I'm as fictional as a dinosaur, baby.
An 18-year-old girl drove off a dock into the water, and she was trapped inside as the car started to sink. 17-year-old Anthony Zonger was nearby when he heard the crash and saw the car going under. People started running towards the water, but they just pulled their phones out to record. That's when Anthony jumped in. He swam towards the sinking car and tried to get the back door open. He pulled her out seconds before the entire vehicle disappeared beneath the water. Anthony was only 17 years old, and while others watched, he took action. So let's share this story and give Anthony the recognition he deserves.
This was sent to me from a follower, Crane Hill, Alabama. I guess he was out scouting for property. He was looking to purchase a property to build a house on. Crane Hill, Alabama. And he was on, I guess, Realtor.com or whatever, Google Earth, Google Maps, and he found a property he was interested in. So he pulled this property up and he was scrolling through the woods, scrolling through the fields, and he found something. And in a minute here, I'm going to show it to you all. He sent it to me and he goes, "Don't think I'm crazy, but to me, these images look like zombies. Is it a group of people having a party? Is it a zombie party? Is there a glitch in the Matrix? What exactly is going on?" But I'm going to show you this picture and you tell me, are there zombies in Alabama? My mind's blown between Jeepers Creepers, shadow people, ghosts, and now we have zombies in Alabama. But I don't know. I've heard a lot of weird things. I don't know if it's just people playing with AI, people trying to screw with me. But you check out this picture and you tell me what you see. Because to me, it looks like a horde of zombies, a swarm, walking through a giant field in the middle of nowhere. See what you think.
Bro, they popped the firework, blew up the car, and the officer. Officer, you okay? It popped on the officer. Officer, you okay? We'll help you. Radio it in, officer. Officer down, you guys. You okay, officer? You should push button. Hey, you guys, cover the cop. Cover the cop at least. Cover the cop. She's not okay. It blew up in her face, bro. It's right there.
Give her some space. Give her some space. Do you need water?
Bro,
you need water?
Officer down in front of the Walgreens. Let her relax. Just cover her around there so no more shit happens. What up, Yazin? Officer! Right here!
You okay?
Brady Ward got the cop, you guys.
He lost his legs for the country of Israel. He lost his legs fighting for Israel. He's not even Jewish. He wears an IDF uniform to American Congress where he's voted by the American people. And it's like, dude, you're not Jewish. You're not Israeli. He is not Israeli. He is not Jewish. He has sacrificed everything for these people that hate him.
Yeah.
What does the Talmud say about Jesus? Yeah, and dude, Brian Mast.
What do they say about Virgin Mary?
Boy, he's a unique one, isn't he? Dude, and the crap that comes out of that man's mouth. He has said some like atrocious, bad his words were so bad that it further proves us right, and we play his clips more than his own people play his clips.
Shithouse.
This video I'm about to show you right here is exactly why I say, if your kid bullies my kid, I'm coming to bully you. Watch.
My best friend from kindergarten, her teenage daughter has these two girls who have been bullying her. And in the bullying tactic attempt, they lit a firecracker and threw it in the window of my friend's nursery. From her baby shower just 2 weeks ago, it is now absolutely destroyed.
They burned down the nursery. Accidentally. They didn't accidentally burn down the nursery. They looked in the window, saw it was a nursery, and threw the fireworks in there. They didn't care if there was a child in there. They didn't care that it might burn the house down. They were doing exactly what bullies do and not giving a f about anyone or anything but themselves. So you know what? If you're not going to discipline them, I'm coming to discipline you. Because I'm not the type of parent that will ever wait for the cops to protect my children, for the school to protect my children, their friends to protect my children. That is my job, and I'll be goddamn if I'm gonna let some punk-ass kids make my child's life a living hell. So to stop them from making my child's life a living hell, I'm coming to your front door and I'm making your life a living hell. Listen, folks, we have to do the one thing we were put on this earth to do, and that's to protect our kids. If you won't do it, nobody will. So stop being a coward, stand up for your children, and beat the dog shit out of some bully parents. Watch how the world changes.
I haven't been to a hairdresser's in over 10 years, and let me tell you spiritually why I won't ever again. Now, before I start this video, let me make myself abundantly clear. This is not all hairdressers, okay? They're not all like this, but my goodness, there are a lot. First of all, I'll be frank with you, people can do witchcraft using your hair. Okay, period. If you're not covered in the blood of Jesus and they've got your hair, that can go into all kinds of rituals. I ain't kidding you. Secondly, can we talk about the jealous spirit that deliberately messes up people's hair, especially if they've got long hair? I often see the excuse of, oh, you know, it's just dead split ends. No, they have a mash up. They will mash up someone else's hair out of pure jealousy, okay? Me and my family, we've got very thick, long, curly hair, you know, Spanish descent as well. And everyone in my family who's ever been to a hairdresser's has had their hair destroyed. Not just cuts a little bit shorter than they'd like, annihilated. Not only that, the setting in hairdressers is very gossip fueled, okay? So the natural toxicity, the energy in those places, I just don't like it. I feel this way in a lot of beautician sort of places. The jealousy, it reeks. Like I say, it's not all of them. It really isn't. But I'm telling you now, even some hairdressers will come on here in these comments and they'll affirm everything I'm saying to you. People can do witchcraft using your hair. People can do witchcraft while braiding your hair, cutting your hair. And if they're jealous of you, they will destroy your hair, okay? Because hair is very precious to women and it's spiritually, it's a covering too. So yeah, me personally, I haven't been to a hairdresser's in 10 years. I cut my own hair and I use my own treatments on my hair. And everyone's always like, oh, you got lovely hair. Okay, yeah, so I've got dead ends, but I ain't got no witchcraft being done on me. And I surely ain't having my hair cut to my ears because someone's jealous I've got long hair. It's huge spiritual warfare that's never really spoken about. Loads of women come out of these hairdressers crying. They're very specific in what they want, and then all of a sudden they get the exact opposite. I say this all the time with discernment. If you're going to anything, tattooists, hairdressers, whatever, for normal people, right? If your discernment tells you no, get away from them. Don't go near them because they've got full access to you. When it's your hair, when it's your skin, they've got access, and some people will mess you up out of pure jealousy.
Okay, try to keep up. I am a 47-year-old biological man. I am been on hormones for a year, a little over a year. I just had my boobs done. I've had one facial surgery. I am not going to have bottom surgery. I'm going to do one more face surgery on the bottom of my chin. I am transitioning to look as much like a female as I can. That's the way I've wanted to be my whole life. I understand that I cannot ever be a biological female. For those of you people that cannot define what a female is, realize that you're part of the problem, okay? A female is someone who was born a female with X chromosomes and can have babies and can give birth and so on and so forth. For the idiots out there that say that some men can have babies because they're trans men, well, that's because they're a biological woman. So let's stop all the nonsense and stop all the bullshit.
Hold on a minute. This man fully knows that he's a man playing dress up, and he's telling all of the others that they are either a man or a woman playing dress up as well. Why can't they all be like this guy? I like this guy.
Don't know if it's what I smoke, don't know if it's what I drink.
火燃起来了。操你妈！完了！
Ой, Юта душча.
Noi, ngrin don dere jam dere ne, dere butuh bangkar dere ne. Bawa jaga jam ne.
2公里以内的玻璃全震碎了，人这配件都飞这来了，2个车子炸的一点儿不剩，全飞，远处太多了呢，都飞那去了。
Serious question. There's the sun, right? Turn around. There's the moon. Can you see it? There it is. There's the moon. So, you can see it's not a full moon, right? It's got just about 2/3 showing. So if mainstream globology tells us that the moon does not give off its own light, it's reflecting the sunlight off of it, and the shadows caused on the moon, which is what makes the crescent moons, is the earth in between. So you got the sun, the earth, and the moon. If the sun is shining and the earth is blocking part of the sun, that's what makes a crescent moon over here. So tell me why, if the sun is right there, why do we not have a full moon? Where'd it go? Right there. It should be a totally full moon. You know what I'm saying? Because there is nothing in between the sun and the moon right here. We got the sun, and then the earth is here, but they're both in the sky at the same time. It should be a full moon. Why is it not a full moon?
By now, you guys have seen this footage of what happened to this guy waving his Alberta flag in Edmonton. And I absolutely denounce that behavior. That is insane and it's disgusting. But there's more to this story. A bunch of us content creators first saw the footage off of YEG Wave. Okay? And that's fine. They got their watermark on it. I even tagged them in some of the videos on some of the platforms that I could find the tag. Except we started getting these messages, them asking us to pull it down or contact them for licensing. Basically saying, pay YEG Wave for us to post it on our channels. Except I then was sent the original video from the person who actually recorded the video and asked them if they knew anything about this. And YEG Wave never offered them any money. So let me get this straight. Is this how YEG Wave does it? They get content from people. They take half a second to put a watermark on it, and then they extort content creators from somebody else's footage without paying the original creator. I'm not saying that's what they're doing, but if the original creator is saying they never offered him anything, and they're going around asking large creators to pay them, it doesn't all add up, does it? That's not how this content game works, YEG Wave. That's disgusting.
Tyler recently signed a deal with Rock Nation. Look at what Rock Nation had in New York when Tyler got signed to Rock Nation. Look at this. And y'all see them throwing this up all the time. People don't even understand. A lot of the people that y'all listen to, even some that y'all may not even know, are signed to Rock Nation. Some of these record labels, these rappers who have record labels, their record labels are signed or tied to Rock Nation. Some of y'all favorite athletes are signed to Rock Nation. It's all one big circle. Tyler always does this one eye symbolism. If she's not holding one of her eyes closed purposely, then she is covering one of her eyes in some type of way, either with her hair or an object or something of that sort. These people already have a platform, followers and all these things, and they will still go and sign these record deals because it's deeper than music. People sell their soul for money. What does it profit a man to gain the whole world but to lose his own soul? Or what will a man give in exchange for his soul? It's sad because these are the people that your children are looking up to, your daughters are looking up to, Tyler had a song called Chanel. And in this song, she was saying, how do you say you love me when you don't put me in Chanel? If you love me, then put me in Chanel. Love cannot be bought. Someone can put you in Chanel and still not love you. They make these material things a God in their life, a false God. It tells us in 1 John chapter 2, verse 15 through 17, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of God abideth forever. These things, the lust of the eyes, the lust of the flesh. People focus so much on material things, on the outward appearance, on pleasing people. They forget all of this worldly stuff is temporary, and it don't matter. It says in 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 18, while we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal. Focused on purses and bags and watches and chains. That stuff is temporary. That stuff don't matter. Has no value. But the things which are not seen are the things that really matter. Jesus Christ is peace. But people focus on material things, temporary things, the things that they can see, the lust of the eyes.
Guys, check this out.
This is actually disturbing. Watch this.
This is called Subsoccer. I've been watching it nearly every day for weeks. Not because it's thrilling, it's not, but because of this guy with the orange shoes. He played in a game on April 3rd, then another the next morning, and another right after that. While he scored dozens of goals, I never once saw him celebrate, because he's not playing to win. Neither are these people playing cricket, basketball, volleyball, water polo, tennis, and table tennis. 5-on-5, 4-on-4, 3-on-3, and 2-on-2 soccer. These so-called frostball players aren't playing to win, nor are the guys playing whatever you call this.
Then why are they playing?
They're playing on fake teams with familiar names, in anonymous buildings without spectators, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, solely to give people like you and me something to gamble on. These are sports betting farms.
We're at the point in society where sports betting and gambling has started to permeate back into the real world, to where now people are creating real world things to be doing based off of the demand that there is for placing bets online. And this didn't come out of nowhere. This is something that has been developing for many years. These are the types of things that you see when society is on the verge of complete and utter collapse. People have nothing else to do with their time and their money than to gamble. And this isn't because that they're doing well. No, this is because people are desperate. They're trying to find a way out of their situation. And these are the links at which they're going to, not only as the people participating in the sports, but also the people obviously who are sitting back and betting on this as a way to try to make money, when in reality, these platforms are all set up to extract all of that money that they have left away. This is not going away. This is going to get bigger and bigger, and that is exactly why we created No Dice, to serve as a community and a place where we can create a counter force against all of this manipulation that's being done, especially to young men and young people who are just trying to find a way to survive. This is not the way out, and we have to make that clear so that more and more people don't get harmed as this industry continues to grow. Like this post and follow us to join us as we continue to speak out against big gambling and the harms that are being done. We're still early enough in this to have a say in how this industry continues to develop moving forward.
After surveying an area in Mexico outside of Tula Hidalgo, they found anomalies under the ground. They started digging, trying to understand what they had found. The first thing that popped up was this, what looks like a stick sticking out of the ground, but this is no stick. This is actually some sort of ceremonial dagger or spike, maybe for sacrifice. This hole here was complete virgin ground. You can clearly see it in the GPR results. There was something under there. That something started like this. It looked like a head of some sort of being, some sort of pretty large piece of stone or what we found to be a geopolymer. This yellow stone is actually a manufactured stone, much like limestone. However, it's manufactured, and likely these carvings and this dramatic detail was done while it was wet somehow, or while it was drying somehow. As you can see, this is out in the middle of the cactus-filled Zikuku Hills. As the guys continued to dig and dig and dig, this thing felt like it was never going to end. Really a large object that was placed here. It looks to be like some sort of, maybe an altar. At first we thought it was a box with a lid, but as they continued to clear it out, that became apparent that that wasn't the case. The deities and the beings on this, one resembling what looks to be like Isis in some situations with these specific type of wings. Another Anubis, the dog from Egypt, a very iconic figure in the Tula Hidalgo and Abuelos Jalisco finds. It's a pretty interesting occurrence with these gray-looking aliens surrounding them. How does that work? Well, our theory is when you look back into history, you can see traces through the Anunnaki and through other cultures that there was experimentation done. The Anunnaki actually created multiple species, is what their texts claim. And I believe that these are some of those species, the ones who they created to dig the ditches and the roads, the ones who rebelled, the ones who were replaced. The Ajiji, potentially. The cache of items found here was nothing short of spectacular. Bells, large cats with chips in their forehead, vessels with coins, statues. Tula doesn't disappoint. Till next time.
If you were to take a helicopter and then fly it way up into the sky and sit in the exact same position for 12 hours, then you should be on the other side of the Earth. Because the Earth is spinning at 1,000 miles per hour and apparently a full rotation is in 24 hours, right? So you should be halfway around the entire world if you sit up in a helicopter for 12 hours. But that doesn't happen. Or you can fly a helicopter way up into the sky and then drop a bunch of golf balls down and they would land in the exact same position that the helicopter was in before it elevated.
Oh yeah, it's because the helicopter moves with the atmosphere above the Earth, right? I'm sure some people are going to argue that. Sounds silly.
So how is that possible if the Earth is actually spinning at 1,000 miles per hour?
Because it's not.
Do all of the clouds, does all of the atmosphere just simultaneously rotate with the Earth?
Apparently.
Is there any way to prove that whatsoever? Did you know that a gyroscope does not account for curvature? It is actually adjusted before the plane flies to be level with the plane below it. That's why it's called an airplane, not an air curve. It's not constantly tipping its nose down to account for curvature. A plane isn't like, oh, I have to land, in a specific direction to account for the rotation of the Earth. The plane just lands onto the flat plane that we live on. But I made this video entirely for entertainment purposes only.
After celebrating a spectacular air show yesterday over New York Harbor, this afternoon a small seaplane carrying approximately 8 to 10 passengers crash-landed into the East River right off the FDR. Have a look at these dramatic videos for yourself. Have a look at it for yourself right here. There it is right there. And these little ships, thankfully, were still in the area. They all came to the aid. And according to reports, everyone got out safely.
Awesome.
And this was recorded by passerbys on a ferry. Look how close they were to it. And luckily, like I said, for everyone on board, there were tons of ships still in the harbor celebrating the 4th of July weekend. And they were able to get everyone off that safely. This crash is still under investigation, so details are still coming in. Once again, details are still coming in as to what happened to the small seaplane that crash landed into the East River. Thankfully, for this pilot, he landed where he did. He was very close to the city itself. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. And as always, I'd love to hear from you.
This is so horrible. Tragic. A mother and son lost their lives when a tree fell on them. This happened at a campground in Pennsylvania.
Brutal.
Storms went through Pennsylvania yesterday, and it was devastating, knocking trees over, knocking everything over. And at this campground, it knocked an entire tree over, and it landed on a mother and an 11-year-old son, folks. And it killed them instantly. I talked to my daughter who lives in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and she said she was out walking because they had a fair, 4th of July fair. She said she'd never been in a storm like that. It was insane. She said it was insane. The wind blowing, the rain blowing. She said it was just out of control. She said garbage was blowing all over it. That's how hard the wind was blowing, folks. She said she never seen anything like it and never been in a storm like that. So this major storm made this tree fall at the campground and took this mother and son's life. Folks, tragic. Praying for this family. Praying.
Damn. Motorcycles riding through that? I don't know if that's real.
Oh my God!
That looks pretty real, but that one clip looked kind of sketchy. Man, stuff like that just makes you feel so small and helpless. That's insane.
Okay, so if you land into England illegally with no passport on a dinghy, this is the situation where you could end up. Just take a look.
Pretty decent looking place.
Got a big shisha pipe in there. So yeah, this is HMO 33 Henry's Court.
33, eh?
Where they've put 7 migrants from the Brook Hotel in this house here.
Think about how many homeless people are in the UK right now that were born here.
Is that all good? So if you just tell them when they
Brand new earphones, new clothes, new house. Can't even speak English.
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
Can only blame the governments.
I can speak English a little. Oh, yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Where are you coming from?
Where are you coming from?
Yeah, we live here. 1 week. Yeah, 1 week. Yeah, so we're going around all the HMOs.
Did they move you from the Brook Hotel?
Yeah.
How many in here? 7.
How many?
How many people in here?
4.
4. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
4. Thank you.
Nice conservatory.
No complaints.
Washing machine.
Yeah.
Break down.
He's not happy with the washing machine.
Working. When I wash the dishes, okay, water.
It leaks in there, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not good, is it? It's not good. Yeah. I
Shame.
called to make them help. And they didn't? I called. One problem in the house.
Yep.
No mirror.
No mirror?
Mirror, no.
He needs a mirror, man. Get him a mirror.
Shave.
Go get a job and buy one.
So you want a mirror and you want the washing machine thing?
Washing machine, yeah.
Thought it'd be appropriate just to show you these statistics. Here it says the UK has hundreds of thousands of people experience some form of homelessness, rough sleeping, temporary accommodation, hostels, sofa surfing, etc. Shelter estimated at least 354,000 people homeless in England alone in the late 2024. Government figures show that the most rough sleepers are UK nationals. In England, around 63% of rough sleepers in 2023 were UK nationals. Well, you know, if you land here illegally on a dinghy, you'll get fed, washed, watered, and given a shelter. You'll get...
That's like same here in Canada, and I'm sure the US too. Like they treat other people who aren't following the proper immigration procedures like better than our own citizens.
Given everything because our government is so diverse and wants to help the rest of the world, but seems to struggle in helping its own people. Must just be all for entertainment as always, beautiful people. I'm as fictional as a dinosaur, baby.
What the hell are they doing?
Hello? I'm under the water.
I don't think that's gonna end so well. What? That's kind of cool. The front end's a little nose heavy and the water's a little close to the windows, but that's still kind of cool. I'm assuming if nobody was in the back, it would be even more nose heavy.
What if a late-night Adult Swim short from 2018 is hiding something much darker? This is Pre-Birth, and once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Yeah, that's kind of messed up. It's a digital baby, algae rhythm. Don't freak out on us.
In November 2018, Adult Swim dropped this in their experimental series Off the Air, themed around sound. Directed by Mike Diva, these pyramid-headed figures in a barren desert landscape start birthing CGI babies from their heads. Then they use the babies as drumsticks, slamming them against stone obelisks.
Symbolic much?
Rhythmic beats. Pyramids, obelisks, ritualistic movements. Babies emerging from hidden chambers. To some, this screams ancient occult symbolism. Is it just weird art? Or something layered with deeper meaning? Mike Diva and the team called it Experimental VFX for Adult Swim's trippy late-night slot. Pure boundary-pushing surrealism. But many viewers saw something else entirely. Why this specific imagery on a network tied to Cartoon Network? Fast forward. People started connecting it to predictive programming, desensitizing us to harm against the innocent. And with everything we now know about elite circles and Epstein, some are asking if this was subtle disclosure or ritual symbolism.
Isn't it always?
Pre-Birth just avant-garde art meant to shock? Or another thread in the veil?
Not releasing the Epstein files! Marjorie Taylor Greene, I don't care what you do, start a fucking war, just don't let him get out. If I go down, I will bring all of you down with me.
Can you do any tricks on that scooter? Huh? Oh, yo, homie got strapped, Yo. Oh. Hey! Oh, go this way. Stop.
How are you?
Welcome to London 2026, where you can see thousands of grown men dancing through the streets half naked, whilst children are increasingly being encouraged to believe that they might be born in the wrong body and could need a lifetime of medical intervention. Maybe I'm old-fashioned, but this should not be encouraged to children, in my opinion. Like, I think children should be taught to love themselves exactly as they are, not be pushed towards becoming lifelong pharmaceutical patients just because they don't fit into a stereotype. Look, this is just my opinion. I don't hate on anyone, but a tomboy doesn't have to become a boy, in my opinion. A feminine boy doesn't have to become a girl. Kids should be free to be themselves without being told that there is something medically wrong with them. The fact that so many people right now look at these scenes and think that this is completely normal just shows to me how far we have drifted from common sense. Like I said, the UK 2026, what a time to be alive. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, beautiful people. I love you all. And as always, this was just for entertainment. I'm a satire account, and I'm also as fictional as a dinosaur, baby.
Make you believe it. Surely he took up our pain and bore our suffering. What have you heard about Jesus?
Jesus rose from the dead. And he rose from the tomb. Say that!
Watch this. It says in John 11:25, I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me will live, even though they die. So once you die, you will live. But it is by faith. It's called metanoia in Greek.
Follow up. If you really think about it, all you think about is thoughts.
Thoughts?
Yeah, give up.
Corinthians 10:5. Take every thought captive to obey Christ. Meaning, 99% of your thoughts are not yours. Yeah. You know what?
Get him!
You know what?
Get him!
Because it's a spiritual war for your soul, man. Just how God wants you so badly, the devil wants you so badly too. And it says the thief has come to kill, steal, and destroy. Satan. To steal your joy, kill your soul. Jesus has come so that you may have life and have it to the fullest. No, Jesus Christ, he didn't come to...
Wait, I can't hear you.
Jesus Christ, he didn't come to force, bro. He didn't come to forcefully, make you believe it. Yeah, surely he took up our pain and bore our suffering. Yet we consider him punished by God, stricken by him and afflicted. He was pierced for our transgression. He was crushed for our iniquities. The punishment that brought us peace was on him, and by his wounds we are healed.
This is Moses.
This is Isaiah.
This is the most insane footage I have ever seen. Newport Beach, shame on you. Actually, shame on the people that came to Newport to celebrate, or whatever you want to call it, on the 4th. And as someone who has been in Newport the past few years on the 4th, something was off this year, and you could tell the second you stepped outside. Hundreds of people being arrested, officers being injured, people throwing fireworks into crowds of people, looting pavilions and destroying everything in sight. I mean, it was just disgusting. Don't be wrong, Newport Beach can definitely get crazy during the 4th, just like any other big city, but never do you feel unsafe just walking by the beach, seeing people getting arrested left and right. And I had a feeling something like this was going to happen just seeing some of the videos pop up on my page prior to this, but nothing like this. If you're a part of this, shame on you. Do better.
You know what the difference is between you and all of God's angels? You weren't ready for this today. God created all of them externally, but with you, God created you within himself. They are all servants of God, but us, not just servants. We are also sons and daughters of God. Even God's mightiest angel, Archangel Michael, is amazed and mesmerized by us humans. Michael, in a blink, could destroy the entire universe, but he still doesn't have the power of the Holy Spirit living in him. Why? Because you are of royal blood. You are a son or a daughter of their master. So why are we trading all of that for temporary fun, for worldly pleasure? Do not sell your eternity for a moment of pleasure, and you cannot afford to lose it. Why? Because you are worth far more.
He makes quicksand look like a joke.
Sand worlds are really interesting because if you look here, it's hard, but as soon as I come over here,
I always thought quicksand was like super dangerous.
you think pretty quick. So you just gotta keep that in mind. If you ever find yourself in some quicksand, Just don't wiggle too much, because otherwise you can get stuck right underneath it. Oh my god. I need to swim out.
So the government threatened a family with daily fines until they destroyed the vegetables growing in their yard. Not trash, not hazardous waste, vegetables. Yeah. I was just about to add some edible plants in my yard, and it made me think of this. So for 17 years, Hermione Ricketts and her husband, Tom Carroll, were growing vegetables in the front yard of their home in Miami Shores, Florida. Their backyard, I believe, didn't get enough sunlight, so realistically, the front yard was the only place for it. And it wasn't some like tiny hobby garden. It was like dozens of vegetables, okay? Neighbors complimented it, no formal complaints, and it provided around 80% of the family's food. But in 2013, the town suddenly amended zoning laws to specifically ban front yard vegetable gardens. Not flowers, not fruit trees, not lawn ornaments, specifically vegetables. And then code enforcement officers showed up and threatened the family with $50 per day fines unless they destroyed the garden. And they eventually had to uproot it because they couldn't afford the penalties. And then the case became Ricketts versus Village of Miami Shores. Court rules that the city had the legal right to ban vegetables in front yards, which is honestly insane when you realize the garden existed peacefully for 17 years before suddenly becoming a problem once the laws changed. And another important detail, Hermione Ricketts was a very respected black architect in South Florida and one of the only black female architects in the region in the early 90s. So it wasn't some like irresponsible family destroying property value. Like, the garden was meticulously maintained. By all accounts, it was beautiful. The case ended up sparking national debate around food freedom, zoning laws, property rights, government overreach. And here's where it gets interesting. After losing in court, they take the fight to the Florida legislature. And in 2019, Florida passed a statewide law preventing local governments from banning residential vegetable gardens. And that law, you know, it wasn't random. It happened because the case got national attention. People kind of just started asking, okay, why should the government be able to stop people from growing food on their own property? Now, obviously, not everyone's going to become fully self-sufficient overnight, but hypothetically, if enough families started growing their own produce, there would be economic consequences, and they wouldn't be for us. If supply increases, demand decreases. If more people grow food at home, they buy less produce, they spend less at the grocery stores, they become less dependent on massive food systems, we rely less on corporations for basic survival. And historically, powerful systems have never loved populations becoming too independent, and this is why this story is bigger than vegetables, because once you realize that the government was perfectly okay with flowers, decorative bushes, flamingos, statues, grass, you're drawing the line at food. Was it really about aesthetics or was it about control, right?
They say, or give up and come to Satan. Lame. Satan likes eating poop. That's a true statement. I'm not a liar. I don't lie. He does though, dude. Seriously, if you guys got into Aleister Crowley a little bit, Aleister Crowley like sniffs farts, bro, and like writes poetry about it. Dude, I'm serious. And he was a Freemason. Okay, so hear me out. Listen, he was a Freemason and he credits all. So like if you get into Crowley, you're gonna see what I'm saying. He was a dual inducted master Mason. And he credits like all of his ritualistic practices to the fathers of Masonry and the greatest and the Mason Lodge. Okay, so everything Crowley was doing, he learned while being a Mason. The Sagic, the ritualistic practices, the ceremonies, and the rituals. He all learned as being a Mason, and he continued to practice these Mason. This is why publicly the Mason Lodge denounces Crowley, because Crowley went public with their stuff. But all of it, always. So the Order of the Eastern Star is the women's, the harlot version of the Freemason Lodge, the Order of the Eastern Star. Crowley started many orders, like the Order of the Golden Dawn and the Order of this, the Order of that, a lot of Sagic orders and high magic orders, right? So just the fact that he would use the order of means he understands like what that is. Like he understands the order of things based off of the Masonic altar. Okay. And he was obsessed with like eating feces and sniffing farts. And listen, guys, I've had Freemasons confess to me many, many things, all in which God first told me that they were doing in my life. I've had a Freemason confess to me that he was through him and his lodge. I had a Freemason confess to me that his lodge gave him the right and permission to use meth and heroin and fentanyl to control people and to break down and defile people. He had permission to do it. I also, that same person confessed to me that he and people in my town and in his lodge were acting like Jesus collectively through like powerful witchcraft in my life. So I was having this relationship with Jesus. I was having like Smith. He confessed to me that was him. Okay. Seriously, I'm not kidding. He didn't confess to me that they eat poop or that they smell farts. But if my intuition was right on all the first stuff, okay, then I'm here to say my intuition is probably right on all the last stuff. And in the last days, good will be bad and bad will be good. And what is really bad, guys? Eating people's feces. That is really bad, okay? So you Freemasons thinking you're getting away with something, you slick ones, and you're not. We smell your breath, guys. Okay, here's the thing. If you want to, how can you tell if a Freemason's been defiling himself in rituals? Just smell his breath. Okay.
All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this one up. If you made it to the end, thank you. I appreciate you very much, and I'll catch you again on the next one. Peace.